Hello, I'm back in the Sea Turtle. I'm trying to come up with a wiring scheme for the radio, and I'm trying to do it without spending one single dollar. So I've got an old stereo from a scooter, some really old speakers, another old scooter 12-volt battery. I've also got a motorcycle 12-volt battery as well. Some wiring that I took from an old harness and other various places and stuff. And the idea is to install an independent power source for the stereo and for a DC adapter. That way it doesn't risk any drain on the battery for the motor or for the boat's important electronics. So right now I've got some wires all clamped and twisted together, and the iPad plugged in to the line in to see how and if it'll work. So it works. That's only one speaker hooked up, but there's no reason to believe the other wouldn't work if this one works. So I'm hoping to discover another pair of speakers before permanently installing these crappy speakers. But I have sound and I have power. So there it is. Okay, there's the stereo. Not the newest or prettiest thing, but it's got a line in and a radio, and that's about all you need these days for music. It's mounted in. The mounting bracket is installed, and I put some marine epoxy around the clips to keep that mounting bracket nice and strong, and then I slid the stereo in. On this side I put a little bead of silicone all around the edge of the stereo just to keep the water out, even though this stereo is gonna probably get salt water on it and rot out pretty quickly. Next season hopefully I can put a marine radio in this spot instead. I'll put one of these two batteries probably tucked into that corner and wired directly to the stereo, and that's about it. Okay, here is the stereo. It's dried, filled up nice. In the back, I hooked up the power and the negative to two clamps. I clamped them to the battery. Then I hooked up the stereo speaker wire and attach it to the speaker. Next will be to take all this crap and maybe trim it down, or and then attach it to the side of the wall so it's out of the way. Then I will permanently attach this speaker, except I refuse to because it's such a piece of crap. I'm hoping to score another one before I do that, but it works. Okay, after much crawling underneath this tiny little space, I have completed temporary wiring for the stereo system. Temporary because I still need to buy many clips and permanent connectors that I just can't buy right now. So I did things temporarily. There's the battery, positive and negative. Just clip them on. The negative is one line that runs all the way up to there, and all the negatives go to that, rather than having several to the battery. I have one negative, and everything's plugged into that. The wires, positive and negative, I have all with Gorilla Tape, keeping it down and against the wall, so rather than having hanging wires, I have a pretty darn clean set of wires that's out of the way, and nothing will ever touch it or accidentally yank it or break it or pull it out or anything like that. So That's that. And the rear speaker runs up here, along the ceiling, under some Gorilla Tape, and out the hole, and into the back of the boat. So there you have it. Yep. There. That's the rear wire. It'll go to that hole.